Before we get into this show, I want to talk to you about what our friends over at Manscaped have been up to. If you've been living under a rock and don't know who Manscaped are, they are the #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming products. Their most popular product is the Lawnmower 4.0, a skin-safe groin and body grooming kit designed to avoid the risk of any accidents occurring whilst trimming your ball hair. They have recently launched the Manscaped Weed Whacker 2.0, which is a nose and ear trimmer consisting of a powerful 7,000 RPM motor with an improved steel blade system that upgrades the cutting performance in your nose and ear areas. This nose and ear trimmer also comes with a skin-safe technology which helps reduce risk, snags and tugs. It's cordless, rechargeable and has a battery with up to 45 minutes of runtime. The Weed Whacker 2.0 will be in all Manscaped tool sets, including the Platinum Package 4.0 and the Performance Package 4.0. So no matter what kit you pick, you will receive the new Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear trimmer. Level up your groom game and use code KICKINIT for 20% off all products and free shipping. Okay, One Championship, US debut, right around the corner. What other better guest could we have here than the main man himself, the CEO, the founder, Mr. One Championship himself, Chatri, sit your tongue, mate. I know you are so busy. Thank you for just joining us for a quick chat about. Listen, there's all kinds of craziness going down with One Championship at the minute. Every weekend it's blowing my mind with upsets and crazy fights and wildness, and we're taking this to America now. So thank you for joining us, mate. I hope you're well.
No, thank you, Liam. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, right. Obviously, we want to talk about the USA debut, but there's just so much craziness been going on. We need to just pull it back and just talk about what's gone on recently. First thing, the one Friday Lumpini shows. So I got in a bit of shit recently because I tweeted that those shows are 100 times more exciting than UFC, and it went viral, and all the MMA guys jumped on me going, yeah, you don't know shit, blah, blah. I stand by my word. You put these cards together and you're giving all these fighters an amazing opportunities, life-changing money, they're getting exposure worldwide. Did you envision when you started these shows that it were going to explode the way it has?
I mean, the plan was always to blow Muay Thai up, as you know, Liam, and we've done a remarkable job. You know, I every city I go to, and I'm right now on the road, as I always am. Every city I go to, when I go to a Muay Thai gym or Jiu-Jitsu academy, when I go train, you know, the owners all thank me, man. You know, our membership's up 300%, and it's because of One. Everyone's talking and buzzing about One. And so when we did One Friday Fights at Lumpini, the idea was definitely to be the #1 rated show. I had no idea that we would blow out numbers. So I don't know if you know, we're the #1 rated Muay Thai show in history, full stop, globally or in Thailand, by a large margin. Our average rating, Nielsen rating, in Thailand is 3.0. The nearest competitor is at 1.5 or something like that. And most of the Muay Thai shows are at 1.0, which is basically a normal rating. And every week we've been, you know, registering 3.0 and 4s. And I think it's for a number of various reasons. One is, you know, when I came to do this, I had the full support of the Thai government, the Thai Royal Army, Channel 7, the biggest broadcaster in Thailand by far, with a 50% audience share. I literally had everybody and all the major power brokers to support One Lumpini. Of course, they believe in One, and they still believe in One tremendously. And so we were very lucky in that, you know, it's 11 years in the making. It looks like it's an overnight success, but I've been building the One brand into, you know, the world's largest martial arts organization on the planet for the last 11 years. So coming into Lumpini, we just blew it up. I mean, and obviously the historic and iconic nature of Lumpini, being the Madison Square Garden of the East, that obviously, all that together with One's star power and One's global footprint, all made for success. But you're absolutely right. The fact that we give life-changing money, not only just, you know, in Big One, you know, our global show, but at One Lumpini we give life-changing money. So, and I make it very clear, you know, there's 2 criteria to win the bonus. One is you got to show beautiful technique. You can't just throw a BS technique. 2, equally important, I want to see a killer instinct. You have to finish the fight. You may or may not, but the point is you have the will, you have the desire, you have the killer instinct, like Liam Harrison does. You know, every time you fight Liam, You're not there to pussyfoot. You're there to finish the fight. Whether you do or not, you know, it happens. I know you have like a more than 50% knockout rate, which is unbelievable in Muay Thai, given that, you know, globally the knockout rate in Muay Thai is about 30%. And at one, it's like, you know, as high as 70%. It's crazy because, you know, we give a life-changing global platform, the biggest audience in history for Muay Thai athletes all over the world. We give life-changing money. You know, you saw the 100,000 bonus I gave to Haggerty. You know, on top of his fight burst. You know, you win a few of those, you're done. You're done. You know, you're in a great place relative to what Muay Thai used to be. I mean, Liam, you grew up maybe making 1,000 pounds a fight. You know, in your early career. Never did you think you were going to get
way less than that in my early career. Way less than that. Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, you're one of the pioneers of global Muay Thai. You know, of course, when we look back all the way back to Rob Kaman or Raman Decker or those guys, they are the true first pioneers. Jean Wayne Parr. But you're the second generation pioneer, man. You're right there in helping to blow it up, and I'm super grateful to you, Liam, for you being in one and putting on the fights you've done. That's why I said I can't wait for you to come back. I want to, you know, I think you deserve a title shot just on your storied career and your history, and you're obviously a legendary name and the style you bring. I would love to see a world title fight with you. At first, I thought it was going to be Nong O. To be honest, I thought that Haggerty had a good chance of winning, but I just thought that Nong O was too crafty. And too powerful. That was my honest gut. So my jaw literally dropped, and I'm so pumped.
I think the entire world's jaw dropped. I think.
Yeah, it was crazy because, you know, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be in Olympia, but I had to travel, right? Because I'm here in the States right now, and I'm like, gosh, I wish that kind of thing. I want to be there. You know, that's one of those historic, probably the greatest upset in Muay Thai history, probably ever.
Yeah.
Yep. And given how hot Nong O is, there's no excuses. He told me. He's in the best shape of his life. He's in the best shape of his life. He's ready. He was 1,000% ready. No injuries, nothing. And he just, I mean, Haggerty had a great game plan.
Yeah. Listen, the dynamic of the small gloves as well. It makes this sport so much more exciting. I absolutely love it. I get asked all a lot of time, do you prefer it with the 8 ounce, with the 4 ounce? I love it with the 4 ounce gloves. It makes it so much more exciting, and you saw it there. One shot in that fight, straight on the chin, and Nong O was out. What I saw with Nong O in that fight, though, I don't think he had any respect for Haggerty. He's usually pretty cool and calculated. He was trying to blast Haggerty out there early doors, throwing him massive kicks, massive punches, and I think he thought that he could just walk through John. But John has clearly grown into this weight class. He looked stacked, he looked solid, and he obviously he walked straight into a massive shot. And I think that were going to be a bit of a shock to him, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I think, you know, look, when Haggerty fought Rotang, you could see that he broke when Rotang hit him hard enough, right, in the body shot. You saw Haggerty's demeanor change. And so I think in Thailand, at least the word was, Nong O is going to break Haggerty. But, you know, we all, every fighter learns his or her breaking point and what it takes there. But also, sometimes when you break, you never want to feel that feeling again. So you never, your breaking point sets higher even, right? And a fight that epic, you know, Haggerty had to be mentally, and again, everyone I talked to during fight week that spoke to Haggerty said Haggerty was on another level in terms of mental strength. He was calm, peaceful, and he knew he was going to win. And when you have that level of confidence, as you know, mental clarity, it's everything. Because then you are able to go into the zone and let your sixth sense take over all of your experience you have, you know, in and out of the ring, training and everything, and putting right at that moment. And that's what Haggerty did. It's unbelievable. So I agree. Nong O probably thought to himself, I hit much harder than Rotang just because of the size differential. If I clock him a few times, he's going to break. That's probably what Nong O really thought. And to John's credit, man, unbelievable. Jonathan's just, you know, unbelievable.
Yep. And as you were just mentioning before, there's also now the potential to bring one championship to England for the first time. There's been a lot of fans that have been saying, oh, we wish we could have a show in England. Now we have the potential to do that.
Yes, well, you know, I've been to the UK now on my world travels for work at least a handful of times. in the last year. I'm going back in April. I'm working on a major media deal, broadcast deal. I don't want to disclose who, but I can say it's going to be earth-shattering if we can get it done. Now, we're still in the negotiation phase of this deal. And one of the discussions we had was when we come on ground, and the idea we did talk about Wembley, who could headline it? And I never thought to myself, I did say Liam and I did say Haggerty, but I never thought ever that it would be against each other, right? But I think that's a fight that would sell out UK, and with a live broadcasting across the entire country on free TV is going to be unbelievable. So let me put the pieces together while you are slowly coming back off your knee surgery. But it's all in the making. I think we could probably get that fight done in 6 to 9 months from now. And I really do want to come to the UK. We have a ton of fans. I know that. Again, just for me, whenever I go, everywhere I go, as I mentioned, when I travel, because I train every day. It's part of my routine, and that's where where one is at. When you talk to people who do martial arts, that at the core of it, we're the number one brand by far, more than UFC, more than the other whether you go to a jiu-jitsu academy, whether you go to a Muay Thai gym, you go to anybody, a practicing a martial arts school, hands down, one is above UFC in that perspective. We are almost like the Ferrari, the purists, of martial arts. Again, whether it's grappling or Muay Thai or kickboxing, MMA, we get the very best of the best, and we have a 70% finish rate, Liam. 70%. Yeah. That compares to, let's say, 35 or 40% for UFC and Bellator, the other two big global organizations. So we have, not only the killers and monsters, the very best of the best martial arts on the planet from every discipline, but our athlete, our roster, you guys come to kill. Kill or be killed.
100%. You were just saying we've got the best of the best. Like, let's have a look at this American card now. Obviously, we've got some absolutely massive fights on. DJ Morales free. We've got Sage Northcutt returning. I'm really looking forward to RoboCop versus Kadestam. I think that's going to be a straight-out gunfight.
Yeah.
It's taken, obviously, what does it mean to you, mate, just to obviously be in this position now after starting from the ground all them years ago and to finally get to this stage now?
It's pretty wild. I'm sitting here in New York City. I'm looking out from my hotel room. I'm looking at the view of Central Park and whatnot. I'm thinking to myself, man, like, it's wild. I'm pinching myself, Liam. But the thing is, this is just the beginning. It's still just day one. Amazon wants to do at least 12 shows on ground in the U.S. once a month. And we're going to start ramping it up very quickly after this. So, I want to see Liam Harrison fight in the U.S. as well, You have tons of American fans. And I'm sure you could light up Madison Square Garden. So, we have big plans. This is just the very beginning. Yes, I'm pinching myself, Liam, and I'm, truly grateful, full of gratitude for all the incredible blessings I've received, our athletes have received, our fans have received on this journey with one. But sometimes you get lucky in life, and I just feel it's one of those things. I can't say it's been all skill, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about the card then. So, obviously, the main event, we've got DJ. You can't have a GOAT conversation without him being involved in it. He, for me, he's one of the greatest athletes that I've ever had the privilege of working alongside. I fought on some of the same show as him. He's just an incredible athlete all round. DJ vs. Moraes Part 3. How do you see this one going down?
Man, both champions come to finish fights. They don't try to play decision games. They really do. At any moment of weakness, they will capitalize. So I don't see this fight going 5 rounds. I see this fight going 2 to 3 rounds, ending very quickly with another shocking, whether it's a submission or KO, very hard to say. But these are the two very best flyweights in the world. There's no question. And as you said, for me, DJ is the GOAT. And I look at DJ as the GOAT from a few lenses, Liam. Of course, you can look at his body of work. But I'm looking at him as a lifelong martial arts. I'm just looking at his core skill set. How is his striking? How is his wrestling? How is his submissions? How is his cage work? How is his transitions? And his balance is flawless. His speed, his lightning reflexes, his pattern recognition. He has it all, man. It doesn't matter what sport. He could have chosen Muay Thai. He would have been the best in the world. He could have chosen anything. This guy could have played, it's just, he's one of those incredible athletes. But in terms of martial arts skills, he has the highest level of skills in every department, which is, unheard of, even to this day.
He proved that against Rodtang, but he said to everyone, I'll stand up with Rodtang. And he did it in that first round. He wasn't like he was running around the ring scared to not get hit. There were a few points in that first round where he went toe-to-toe. Yes. He took the shots. He gives some back, and he wasn't scared.
Yeah, that's you got to give it to, man. DJ is, how many world champion mixed martial arts would go against a Muay Thai world champion in his rule set? I don't think anybody. Very few.
Nah, that was absolutely wild when we did that as well, because that got so much traction worldwide. Do you see those mixed rule fights coming back on the American cards?
Yes, for sure, definitely. That's the beauty, Liam, of our platform. As the home of martial arts, as the world's largest martial arts organization, is that we have all the different disciplines, all the major disciplines of martial arts, and the ability to cross over depending on what you want to do. Right? For example, your style is perfect for kickboxing. You've got dynamite hands and you've got amazing kicks. So you could actually, if you wanted to, win another belt in kickboxing. So you see, there's a lot of, whenever people reach a peak in a certain sport, what's the next challenge? Well, the challenge is, this is what Roberto Soldic wants. He wants to become the very first combat sports athlete to win multiple world titles in multiple disciplines at the same time. And he wants to go down in history as the greatest combat sports athlete. And that's why he chose one. He wanted to compete against the very, very best at the highest levels in the world, but he wanted the opportunity to be able to do boxing, to be able to do kickboxing, to be able to do Muay Thai, to be able to do mixed martial arts. And that's the flexibility. We allow all of our athletes to craft their own careers on our platform. And you know what? Fans love it. Fans want to see Liam Harrison under kickboxing rules. They know he's a Muay Thai legend already. So again, when you open up to mixed fights, when you open up to the different kind of rule sets, it's just very intriguing. Then you can say truly you are the best fighter in the world. Doesn't matter what rule set. Because right now, yes, if you win the world title in mixed martial arts in one or UFC, you can say you're the best in the world. But are you really the best fighter? The best fighter means you under any rule set. It's like a street fight. Under any rule set, hand-to-hand combat, are you the best in the world? And you can only know if you are fighting under all those different conditions, right? So Roberto Soldic is one guy I think everyone should keep an eye on, but he's a very tough opponent. I mean, you have two KO strikers coming up May 5th in Kazakhstan, who is a Muay Thai athlete himself. Heavy hands, very, very experienced striker. And Roberto has one-punch KO power. So here you have these two dynamite guys who love they love to stand and bang. And they're both very technical. They're not sloppy standing bangers. They're very technical. So it's just one of these things where you can see they're going to slip and boom, out. This is what I predict.
Yeah.
That was definitely not going to be.
I said, it's going to be an absolute gunfight. And someone asked me, said, who's going to win? And I just said, whoever lands first. Whoever. They both got that. They both got that power. And I think Kazakhstan, he knocked out Yuri Lapicus the last time I fought on that show. And that was a serious, like, one-punch bam like that. He's good with his elbows as well, though. I've seen him stop people on the ground. RoboCop everyone was terrified of him in Europe before he came and signed for one championship. So we've still got to see the best of him as well. Obviously, the groin strike happened last time, but I'm really looking.
I mean, when we signed Roberto, UFC gave him an offer. I think Bellator gave him an offer. We gave him an offer, and he chose one again. We're grateful. I mean, he's genuinely the best pound for pound European champion, full stop, in mixed martial arts, even to this day. He's just, there's nobody in Europe who wants to face him in his weight division. He's just a scary, scary beast.
Yeah, 100%. Right, so we've got Rodtang on the card as well. What can the American fans who've never seen him fight live hear? Because when you're actually in the stadium and you're close to the cage or the ring and he's throwing all these antics out, calling you on, and you can actually hear the noise of some of the shots hitting him on the chin. You're like, what on earth is wrong with this guy? Because that shouldn't really be happening. What can they expect from this fight?
Okay. So this is, we all know Mexicans. Mexicans have big hearts, big hands. And that's what Edgar Tabarez brings. He's not afraid, of Rodtang. He's a WBC world champion himself. And he said this is an opportunity of a lifetime for him. This is a, Rocky Balboa moment for him. Rodtang obviously is a favorite, but Rodtang is a favorite against anybody in the world, right? In his weight division. But the reality is here, is Rodtang taking it lightly or not? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Obviously, he's made a ton of money. He's gotten married. A lot of things have changed in his life. And does he have the same killer instinct? And does he still have the same firepower? I believe he's going to put on a great show. But as a backup, in case anything happens, Superlek is going to be standing in. So he's training very
I
hard.
wondered why you were training so hard. I seen on the
Yes.
videos, and I said
Yes.
to the owner of Yokawa, I said, "Why? When's he fighting?" And he went, "Oh, I'm not allowed to say." I thought, "What's he up to here?" I thought, makes sense.
So actually, I'm breaking right here. Superlek is offered to stand in case Edgar or Rotang refuse to fight or can't make the fight or can't make the weight, whatever it is. He wants to be there. And so no matter what, American fans are going to see the very best of the best in Muay Thai. You know, firecrackers, dynamite hands and kicks. Superlek, for me, man, he may not be the most beautiful fighter. Like Haggerty's a beautiful fighter, technically, right? When you look at his technique. Superlek's kicks are a little bit awkward. If you look at it, he doesn't rotate his hips all the way, but they're dynamite.
Doesn't look like it, it doesn't look like it should work, but the power that he, honestly,
yes. He has I mean, you know, if you look at pure textbook technique, he doesn't have good technique. Like he doesn't rotate his hips. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have the, you know, even as head kicks, it's almost like a leg kick. But he's just it works. I agree with you. I don't get it. It works. But here's the thing: he's so fast and he's so powerful with that leg kick. Sorry, with that kick, roundhouse kick. It's just scary, you know. And we saw it like in his last fight, in his kickboxing title defense, like. When we were at the Singapore Stadium and he lands a kick, it's like a baseball bat cracking somebody's ribs. It's just crazy.
So I train at Yokawa alongside him whenever I'm in Thailand, and it's the same when you're sparring with him. You blink, you've been kicked, and it feels like you've been whacked with a baseball bat. He's the sharpness of it, and I cannot block it no matter. I know he's going to do it. I know it's his best weapon, and I'm waiting for it, and I just still can't block it. His timing is unbelievable. So, like you say, if the American fans do get to see him instead of Rodtang, they're even for a treat. Either way.
Yes.
Speaking of them two, the Muay Thai fight everyone wants it is Superlek versus Rodtang, isn't it?
So that's definitely going to happen. I mean, that's definitely going to happen this year. I think after May 5th, I'll sit down with both Rodtang and Superlek. They both want the fight. I think it's definitely going to happen. I think this is something that people have wanted for a long, long time. Both heavy hitters, dynamite in their hands and feet, and they want to show who's number one, you know, in the weight category.
Yeah, 100%. Right, going back to the American card, Sage Northcutt back after a long layoff. He's coming back from a bad knockout. He's got a very tough opponent as well. What can we expect from Sage, do you think, in this his return?
You know, there's a lot of big question marks, and I love Sage. You know, he got very unlucky, getting his face fractured. You know, I think in 7 or 8 places.
That was a terrible injury.
Yeah, terrible injury. He's been out for a while. At one point, 2 years ago, he called me and said he retired. He said, "Chatri, I'm done. I can't do this anymore." And I was surprised. And then again, literally a year later, he said, "I'm back, Chatri." And so I think there's a lot of questions. Does he have the same heart? Does he have the same will to win? You know, is he going to be gun shy? Right after you just never know somebody's mental state after a bad knockout. You know, some guys come back and they're even better, and other guys just never the same. So that's a big question. But in terms of pure athleticism, pure skill set, cardio wise, he's a specimen, man. He's a genetic freak.
He's like, do you know what? He's like something out of Universal Soldier. He's absolutely ridiculous. He's shredded. Some of the stuff he can do is like, it defies like logic. Like he's an incredible
100%.
athlete.
No, and if you talk to his teammates at Team Alpha Male, they will tell you his cardio is the best on the team. His ground game's insane. His speed, explosiveness is there. His balance, he has it all. And, Sage has been essentially groomed ever since he was 3 years old. He used to do push-ups. I think when he was 4 years old, he used to do push-up contests with his dad in the living room. And ever since that point, that's when he decided to dedicate himself to, his fitness, his health, his body, his everything, martial arts. So he's a lifelong martial artist since the age of 3 or 4 years old, but physically conditioned since he's 3 or 4 years as well. That's what's crazy. He used to do like 100 push-ups a night, at 4 years old. It's just crazy stuff. But that's Sage. It's true, Mark is a good buddy. His father is a good buddy of mine as well. And the stories I have so much respect for the Northcutt family.
Also, on this card, American crowd are going to get introduced to Stamp for the first time. I think she's going to be a massive hit in America. I was just speaking to Mitch about this. She's massively likable. She's just a really nice person, an incredible fighter, very exciting to watch as well. How do you see that fight going?
Well, I haven't announced it yet, but there, the winner of that is gonna get the title shot.
Nice.
I spoke with Angela Lee. Obviously she's still going through a very rough time with her sister's passing, but she's blessed an interim world title fight between whoever and so it could be. I'm thinking right now it could be if Elise or Stamp, whoever wins that fight, maybe could be facing Seo Hiham or even Denise. There's a few other.
Yeah.
There's a big fight there to be made, and so this is a title contender kind of fight. It's one of these big fights. Elise is a very dangerous grappler, very long and lean. I wouldn't take it lightly, but yes, I agree. American fans are going to fall in love with Stamp because not only does she have the charisma and the X factor in terms of her personality. But her style is so exciting, so fun. She comes to finish fights. She has elite level striking. You don't see it. You don't see her level of striking in the U.S. You just don't. There isn't anybody in the circuit here in the U.S. and the MMA circuit, whether it's UFC or Bellator, that just don't have the pedigree that Stamp brings to the table. So people are going to be blown away.
And the first fight with her, and Angela Lee, she was very close to getting stopped, but then she pulled it back, didn't she? So if that rematch does happen, I will be fully invested. Just before we wrap this up, because I know you're busy and I've actually got to go to the airport because I'm getting on a plane soon, there's a few just questions I want to ask you. The first one I want to ask is, any fighter from the past who you would have loved to assign to one, if you could have had one fighter, whether that been Saenchai or Buakaw or Ramon Decker, who would you have chose?
I think for Muay Thai, Ramon Decker, his style is perfect for the 4-ounce gloves. Actually,
oh my God, can you imagine fighting him in 4-ounce gloves? My days.
Ramon Decker would be so scary. I mean, I would. Yeah. I don't know how many people would actually be willing to face him. With that crazy left hook of his. But his style would have been perfect for the 4-ounce gloves, Muay Thai. But here's the thing, right? People think Muay Thai in one is not as technical. I disagree. Here's why, Liam. The small gloves, yes, you have one more weapon now to go for a knockout. Like the elbow used to be the only when you could one shot and knock him out, right, in close range. But now it's a fist. So now you have to almost evolve as a Muay Thai athlete in terms of the old adage of hit and don't get hit. So now more than ever, do you have good footwork? Do you have good defense? And sometimes maybe the traditional Thai stance is not necessarily the best stance. But this is evolution of the game. It's still the art of 8 limbs. But I always go back to my own martial arts training, Liam, and my own philosophy is like martial arts was first invented because of self-defense on the streets, right? I mean, 5,000 years ago in Asia, people wanted to learn hand-to-hand combat. And these systems developed, whether it's Kung Fu or Taekwondo or Muay Thai, developed thousands of years into what they are today. And, we've lost some of that because when things become a game, I'm trying to score points versus trying to finish a fight. It's very different. Self-defense is because someone is trying to harm you, whether they are a robber in your house or getting mugged or whatever it is, or a street fight, you have to finish a fight. It's not like dancing around for points. You finish the fight. And that's the thing that I think one has brought back to the game. And that's why fans all over the world are going crazy about it, because suddenly you're like, wait, why are all these one athletes trying to finish the fight so dramatically and they're able to get the 70% finish rate? I think that's the ethos, that's the DNA of one, that's the mysticism of one. The why is the brand has such a big halo around it? It's because our martial arts are the very best in the world, but they come with a killer instinct to finish fights. And that's something that you just don't see. That's part of the old school lineage of true martial arts.
I stand by what I said about the One Championship Friday fights. That's the most exciting sport on the planet. I don't care what any MMA guys from America say to me. I stand by that.
No, once they have exposure to it, Liam, you watch. You're gonna agree because it's the highest level of striking in the world. But you have both sides really coming to gun to finish. No one is playing a game. And again, it's when you offer a life-changing global platform, when you offer life-changing money, an opportunity, and you set up the incentive structure, and you also say, look, why fight every 2-3 weeks for peanuts okay? When you can fight a few times a year and save your health, but when those few times a year, you're actually hungry to fight. You actually want to fight. You're craving it, right? Like you sitting right here and doing this podcast, I'm sure you're like frustrated as hell. Your adrenaline for wanting, your itch for wanting to fight again. You know, that competitive itch. And so there's something to be said.
Jealousy. Yeah, jealousy is an awful trait, but every Friday when I switch the laptop on to watch the fights, I'm sat there and I'm just jealous. I'm like, it should be me. I should be there. But yeah, my time will come. I'll be back.
Yes. No, I'm excited, Liam, for your comeback. And I'm telling you, this is going to be the greatest stretch of your career. Mark my words. I say it right here. This is going to be the greatest stretch when you come back because you're experienced, you're hungry, you've had a little bit of setback. It only makes you more grateful for the opportunity. Okay, so whenever I think about setbacks in life, you can take it one of two ways. You know, some people get setback and then they end up in this dark place. Other people, you use a setback and you become more resilient, but also you become more grateful. When you're more grateful, you're like, okay, I'm gonna really let it all out now. I've got maybe 2-3 years of great years left in my fighting career. I've done it all, but I want to win the one world title. I want to go home with a boatload of cash for my retirement. Whatever, right? Like. So maybe this is, I don't know, the universe's way of Liam. Take a break, and now you go for your biggest run in history, and let's do Wembley, Haggerty versus Harrison.
Well, I said that after when Jonathan won the title the other day, and this all got talked about straight away, and everyone was talking about, oh wow, we can bring it in England. And I wasn't sure if I'd ever get a title shot again or whatever with coming back from injury. But destiny has a funny way of playing out, and what a better way to finish off my career, to win it in Wembley against Haggerty, in the biggest British Muay Thai fight of all time. It would be incredible.
Of all time. Probably the biggest European Muay Thai fight of all time. You know, maybe even the biggest Muay Thai fight outside of Thailand of all time. Actually, I could probably say that. There's probably, definitely in terms of global viewership, it will be.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. Right, just before we wrap this up, I just want to say a massive thank you. Do you just want to get the date and the times and how all the American fans and everyone around the world can watch the show on the 5th of May?
May 5th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Live for free on Amazon Prime Video. Every American, you got to watch this. And the rest of the world, 170 countries broadcast live. Check your local listings. We're usually on the biggest broadcaster in your country or in your region. In Latin America and Europe, in Brazil, it's Globo. In Cambache, in Australia, 7 Network. The list goes on and on. China, it's Tencent. But yeah, May 5th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S., Amazon Prime.
There you have it. Chatri, massive thank you for joining us, mate. And tune in on May the 5th. You are going to be exposed to some of the best fighting on the planet from the One Championship Show. Muay Thai, grappling, MMA, you've got it all. See you soon. I'll be joining you out in Denver next week, mate, so I'll see you then.